Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me, Jaylene, also known as FLUENT. Spring is in the air right now, but so is in the air of love and canoodling. But is it really for everyone? Today is going to be all about giving the light to the Aromantics and the Asexuals in this beautiful world. We're going to be talking about three things. The first is what are Asexuals and Aromantics. The second one is going to be how can you actually be a supporter for them. And then last but not least, what do their relationships, etc. connections look like? Number one. Who are they? First I want to talk about is the asexuals in the world. Asexuals are the type of people that actually carry no sexual attraction to anything or anyone whatsoever. Usually when we see something we really like, our body kind of connects those beautiful physiological responses around us to that stimuli that we think we're getting the pleasure from. For the people who are not asexual, generally we kind of start waking up to this when we see our preferred genders and kind of feel aroused by it, or maybe by certain fetishes. But just because they are asexual, however, does not mean that their whole sex system is broken. As with all beautiful bodies, we all kind of have a very functioning nervous system, and certain body arousals may occur. Just think of the midnight boners that people with penises have. Well, this is kind of the same thing for asexuals. Their body is set up to experience still kind of more pleasure sensations when their genitals are being aroused, etc. But they don't actually attach it to being attracted to anything or turned on by anything. It's kind of like the motion of washing your hands for them. Like, it feels really nice and it feels nice and clean and it's great, but I'm not really feeling horny about it. Now we're gonna go on to the Aromantics. Same, but no. Aromantics are actually very different. Aromantics are actually the type of people that carry no romantic attraction to absolutely anyone. Just think about, back in kindergarten or when you kind of started waking into grade school and you started having, little crushes on anyone. Your sexuality wasn't awakened yet, but you're kind of like, I think I kind of really like them. Well, Aromantics just didn't really have that. These people will experience, wanting and craving sex, and they will experience turn-ons and fetishes, but when it comes to actually having, more of an attachment sort of partnership, that's just something that they've never really been attracted towards. Basically, when it comes to creating a relationship, these people are just not feeling it. Literally. The second thing we're gonna go on is how can you be a supporter for them? The number one thing I want to say is, just like with all sexual orientations and relationship styles, we never actually just want to assume anything. Just because you are out there looking for it, whether it is love or sex or maybe just both, doesn't mean everyone else is. To be a supporter more specifically for the asexuals, I feel like in our culture, even though sex is a very huge motivation and also character aspect of people who are actually sexual beings, it is quite oversaturated in media. After all, sex sells is actually quite a true statement for marketing. But by doing this whole oversaturation thing, it kind of gives us the impression, and a lot of other people, that we always need to be turned on or thinking about sex. Sex is really just one aspect of our day. However, if we're just going to be in hindsight about it, you have your hobbies, you probably need to cook some dinner, and probably you have family and friends in the midst. So when someone tells you they're asexual, don't freak out, or don't call them a freak. They literally are just people, if you want to view it, going about their day the same way that you do without sex being part of the equation. Alright, how do we support the Aromantics now? There is one big mouthful term, and it is called amatonormativity. This term was coined by Professor of Philosophy Elizabeth Brake in Arizona State University, and what she kind of explained it as is that there's a premonition idea that everyone has the same goal of finding love and marriage. Go follow on my IG if you want to learn more about this word. To get some relation between you romantics and you aromantics, just imagine a world where you are very, very content just having your friends and your family and your work, and love just isn't really something that you're looking for. To be on the aromantic side, what you have to do is just basically avoid casting judgment upon thinking that they are heartless human beings. These people have lots of love and good vibes to share, but they just share with their family and friends. That's it. No affectional attachment included. Alright, let's move on to number 3. What do their relationships and connections look like? For the asexuals, I bet a lot of you are thinking, how do you have a relationship with someone when you don't have sex or any physical chemistry connection thing going on? Funnily enough, there was actually a study done by Anthony Bogart of Baroque University, and he found that 33% of asexuals were in long-term relationships compared to about the 63% of sexual people that weren't. Just because sex is left out of the equation for these asexuals does not actually mean that love is not part of the equation as well. Asexuals still carry a romantic orientation, also known as an affectional orientation, which means that it's what type of genders are they more attracted to romantically. They are still the people that are very, capable of wanting to do romance. They want to maybe pick you flowers or write cute notes, etc. They just don't have the bedroom part in it. Okay, so what do the connections of the Aromantics look like then? Though upon sexual awakening, we can also experience, the awakening of their sexual orientation. They're very, very capable of having that. It does not necessarily mean that they actually kind of grow to develop this sort of idea of attachment that usually we associate with being intimate with someone. Obviously, with our romantic normativity, an aromantic, it can be kind of confusing for them. Their feelings for their friends or family can kind of have them second guessing whether it's romantic or not, simply because they don't really have anything to compare it to besides the cues that we have around us. One aromantic that I've met before went on to say that aromantic can still have crushes even though that's not exactly what they are. They determine them as squishes, which I thought was really cute. Squishes they described it as, having a lot of attraction and just appreciation for this person that you know and really love their energy around. So kind of like the admiration you would have for your best friend. Like I said before, it can be actually kind of daunting and confusing carrying this identity into a love and sex-filled world. If you're identifying with anything that I mentioned in this video, or you feel a little bit unsure about how to kind of navigate this identity of yours, just hit me in the contact link below, just contact me, and we can just set up a very confidential safe space to chat. Be sure to follow my other links, there's IG, Facebook, everything like that. Also to know more about the amatonormativity. This word is too tricky for my tongue. And last but not least, make sure you actually subscribe to this sex education of yours. It's yours. Do it. And like this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. It is me, Jaylene, Femme4. Mwah.